everyone, this is Stephanie Manley. You know me from copycat.com. Today I am going to share with you one of my learning how to cook videos. This recipe came from my old home economics textbook, and you know what? They don't even call that home economics anymore. So I'm going to show you how to make homemade sloppy joes. So let me tell you what's in there. We're obviously going to put a little bit of ground beef in there, about a pound. Then you're going to need a medium-sized onion. You're going to need some celery. You're going to need a couple cloves of garlic. And then to make the sloppy joe sauce, you're going to need tomato sauce, brown sugar, Worcestershire sauce, vinegar. Now we're just using plain old white distilled vinegar. You don't have to buy it in this large of a container, but I apparently like to shop at Costco. You're going to need some ketchup. You're also going to need some black pepper. So let me show you how you put this recipe together. The first thing you need to do is you need to go ahead and chop all your veggies really, really small. So we're going to begin chopping the garlic, the onion, and the celery, and we're going to put these in a bowl because we're going to cook the vegetables and the hamburger together. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. So you want to chop your garlic in really small pieces. 2 cloves is good. If you don't have any fresh garlic on hand, you could use a little garlic powder. I would use about a teaspoon of garlic powder. That should work out just as well. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to chop my onion. Now I like to take one cut just like this so I can keep my onion nice and still when I cut it. Then I'm going to chop off an end piece because it'll make it a little bit easier. Then I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to make a few cuts horizontally. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and peel off the remainder of the peel that I missed before. It's really easy to do it once you've cut your onion. So you can go ahead and do this. All right, so I've sliced my onion this way, and now I'm gonna slice it perpendicular. So I'm gonna slice it up and down. And now I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna slice it this way. And you can see it makes really nice small pieces of onion. And you may need to go ahead and chop up the remaining bit. If you don't cut all the way back, you can go ahead and chop it here as well. Okay, so now we're going to take our onion and put it in our bowl. So now we're going to go ahead and chop our celery. I like to make sure my celery's chopped pretty fine as well. So I like to take it and chop it all the way down. Then I'll cut off those end pieces and I won't use those. And then I just cut small little thin pieces of celery this way. All right, so just remember, you just cut down like this and just make your slices. Okay, so now we're gonna make the sauce for the sloppy joes. You're gonna need 1 large can of tomato sauce. That is 14.5 ounces. We have our tomatoes in there. Now we're going to stick in our 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. We're gonna stick our brown sugar in. So we're gonna stick our vinegar in. Now remember, that's just regular white distilled vinegar. Then we're gonna stick our ketchup in. That's a 1/4 cup of ketchup. Okay, so next we're gonna put in pepper and we're gonna give it a stir. And we will pour this into our hamburger very soon. So now you need to take a large skillet. You need to turn your heat on to a medium-high heat. So if you have like a setting that's 1 through 10, maybe about a 7 or an 8 would work. This gas heat again, medium-high heat is perfect. we're gonna go ahead and put our hamburger into the pan, and you just wanna break it up a little bit. And we also wanna go ahead and stick in our celery, onions, and garlic. And again, you just wanna continue to break up your hamburger. And let this cook. Now you're gonna need to let this cook until the hamburger is completely done. So that's a nice gray color. So we'll continue to break up our hamburger meat and kind of watch it. So at this point, you also want to salt and pepper your meat just a little bit. This is the perfect time to add in seasoning. It's about a half teaspoon of salt and about a half teaspoon or so of ground black pepper. Just stir that in and let it all cook together. So our hamburger has browned perfectly now. And now we're gonna go ahead and add in that sauce that we just made. So just go ahead and pour that in. And you just wanna stir it in. We're going to turn it down to low, and we're gonna let it simmer for about 10 minutes before we start making our sandwiches. All right, so you don't have to add butter to the buns, but I think that they always taste a little bit better if you do. So I'm just gonna spread just a little bit of butter on each one of the hamburger buns. And then I'm gonna stick them in my oven under broil. If you don't have an oven, perhaps you have a toaster oven, and you can use that as well. So you just need to stick them in there for a couple of minutes or so. You need to watch them kind of closely because sometimes they can brown rather quickly and they'll get away from you. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in and take them out when they're nice and browned. So we've taken our buns out of the oven and they're nice and toasted, as you can see. So we're gonna go ahead and put one down. And we're gonna spoon some of this mixture on top. And here we go. We have a wonderful homemade sloppy joe. You didn't need to buy the stuff in a can. It's really easy to make. And you know what? It tastes really good too. So if you enjoy these Learn to Cook videos, give me a big thumbs up and drop me a comment down below and let me know what you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching.